Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And I say that every single day. What do I mean by that? I mean, I only speak to transportation professionals on this show, as well as my twice a week long form podcast, because I want to put the right information out there from the people who have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve. So you can take all of that information and apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I probably fly that American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. What is up, Bill McIntyre? Good morning. He's watching over on YouTube, you guys. He's with Mac 3 Freight Solutions, LLC. Corey Buchan, happy Thursday. He's watching over on YouTube as well, you guys. And I've been hearing this it's becoming a very consistent thing, you guys. I don't know what's going on LinkedIn, but it's not notifying people that I'm going live. It's not allowing people to like comment on stuff and everything else. And it seems like YouTube is like the better streaming solution that is out there for this, you guys. So if you like to hit up your boy's show live, jump over to YouTube. It sounds like there's a better stream out there. And then obviously all the audio only replays will be uploaded onto iTunes and Spotify almost immediately after the show, you guys, to get your listening pleasure in here throughout the day. Micah, what is up? Good morning to you. She says, love your content. I appreciate that, Micah. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate all you guys who tune in every single day. I see every single time you guys comment on this stuff. And I truly do appreciate all of you guys. It's wild what this has all grown and continues to grow into throughout the years, right? Like it's they do that, and you're going to see everybody posting their vanity metric warped, Spotify warped things about how many views and stuff that your podcast got. And it's wild to see the growth, you guys. Like I talk about this often. Since I've been doing this in July of 2020, I would say it's like 60% of my growth has been in the last 10 months. And that's pretty much going live almost every single day, putting out content every single day, multiple podcasts. I mean, this is like over 750 plus podcasts that we've released out there, you guys. And I just start feeling that right now we are starting to grow. And from my perspective, it just comes with the territory, right? And it's just my thought of the day. I used to do Thursday thought topics, and to me, it's so much. It takes so much longer than you think in the moment when you first start getting started. But then it starts to you got a system going for it and everything. From my perspective, I got a pretty good system down on how I create my live show, and because I produce it all on myself. I find the articles, I do all of that. That's going to be changing here soon. I'm going to be, once I get some stuff locked in for 2025, I'll be having some people behind the scenes help me out, because I got a lot of stuff going on throughout the day now with Freight Coach Logistics growing and expanding out there. But, it took a long time to get to this point, right? And it's all worth it, no matter what. I've been back and, into the trenches and growing out my agency here all year. And this has been the busiest week that we've had, hands down. We had so much stuff going on that even this morning, right? I had a cross dock or a crane offload in Long Island, New York this morning for a piece where, that was getting offloaded at a cross dock facility. And then the person who purchased the actual equipment was showing up to grab it and load it and take it out of that facility because they didn't have a way to offload it. And, it's just little exciting things like that where, it's all comes in time, right? And then I'm also dealing with, we're going to have a claim situation on some damaged product that happened yesterday. But again, it's just I'm not as deterred by that as I used to be, right? Now I'm just like, I've dealt with it so much. And, first and foremost, I know it's not the end of the world now. And I know that no one's going to, come and kill me. But it's, to me, it's like, I know the process, I know what to do, but that comes in time, right? And all of you, that's what I want you guys to be aware of, is all the results that you're looking for come in time. All the growth that you're looking for come in time. And the best piece of advice that I can give in any of those situations is just don't quit. No matter what, just don't quit. Let everybody else quit. And it's so much easier to say it as you kind of progress. But as somebody who started all of this out of my bedroom, not knowing how I was going to pay my rent, 10 days, at a time, and stuff like that, it's worth it. It's worth every second of it, the more and more you grow. And I know that it's going to continue to challenge me every single day. But there's so much, it's just so worth it at the end of it. You guys keep pushing no matter what. Keep going with it. Don't pay attention to all the bullshit that goes on. Blinders, focus on you, focus on your business, focus on your results. That's where the real magic is going to happen. It's not going to come after reading somebody's post on, LinkedIn or Instagram talking about how they're so much better than everybody else when they're not, right? Like it's ridiculous, some of the stuff you see out there. So I would just keep that in mind as you're going out there and building your business up and your book of business and all of that. It takes time. It is so worth it though. All right. It is so worth it in the long run. Robert Cowton, morning. He says, I look back at your episode, couldn't find any on MAP 21 with new broker rules going into effect out there. MAP 21. Let me see here. Stephen Tottle, good morning. Beautiful day here in Area Z. It is, man. I'm glad it's our summertime finally. Let's go all over the country. It goes into its compliance and new financial stability. I want to say I talked about this, Robert, but I didn't go in depth on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to my friends over at the TIA and have them come on, and we could probably break that down. Steve Hunt says new rule effective January 16th of 2024, enforcement January 16th of 2025. I'm going to reach out to them, and I'm sure they would be very more well-versed on this stuff than I am. Leanne Sheldon, good morning to you watching over on LinkedIn. Tracy St. Clair, good morning to you watching over on YouTube. All right, you guys, let's break down some articles. Also, I forgot to mention this week, but tomorrow is Q&A day. All right. So any sales or operations related questions you have for the transportation industry. I'm not a life coach. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in, but I know a couple of things about selling freight, and mainly I know a lot about what not to do in this industry. So if you have any of those questions, drop them in the chat on the live stream tomorrow, or DM them over to me. I'll answer them live on the show. Fortunately, I get a decent amount of DMs throughout the week asking, what to do and everything else. So I usually use those. But if you guys have anything and you want to ask it on the show. I'll get them answering them live for you. All right, let's break down some articles here, you guys. As always, the links to all of these articles are going to be uploaded onto the YouTube channel, as well as the YouTube channel, as well as the audio only replay for this. Let me see here. Sorry, I lost my screen. Here we go. All right, first one we're going to break down. Oh, sorry about that, you guys. ttnews.com. FMCSA warning. Drivers who drug test positive will lose CDLs. Final rule goes into effect late 2024. So apparently if you're going to do drugs, do them now and do them heavy until I'm just kidding. I'm not advocating for that at all. Federal trucking regulators have issued a warning that late next year, truck drivers who test positive for drugs will not only be placed on prohibited driving status, but will lose their CDL and not be issued learning permits until they complete the federal return to work process. A driver with drug and alcohol program violations is prohibited from performing safety sensitive functions that are out there for any DOT regulated employee until the return to duty process is complete, said the FMCSA. By November 18th of 2024, and part of the new federal regulations, drivers with a prohibited status in the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse will lose or be denied their state-issued CDL driving privileges. FMCSA's final rule was issued in October of 2021, but the messages went out this week to remind drivers that positive drug tests will require state driving licensing agencies to take action when the drug failures are posted in the clearinghouse. A CDL license will remain prohibited until the FMCSA has received notification that the driver has satisfied and completed the return to duty process. The spokeswoman said, let me see here, where we go. The FMCSA removes the violation from the clearinghouse after they complete it. The final rule said it will help keep unsafe drivers off the road by increasing compliance with the CMV driving prohibition. A driver's employer is required to provide a driver a list of DOT qualified substance abuse professionals for education and treatment. Drivers can then select their SAP based on their own research, and then that SOP will then evaluate a driver to successfully complete his or her eligibility to be retested. And then it goes on to say to remain in not prohibited status, your employer must complete follow-up testing plans with you as specified in the SAP, which must include a minimum of 6 unannounced follow-up tests in 12 months of returning to performing safety-sensitive functions. If you're an owner-operator, your designated consortium/third-party administrator must complete your follow-up testing plans. The FMCSA said the clearinghouse is having the intended effect of taking large numbers of drivers caught using drugs off the highway. However, a persistent concern in that large number of drivers remains prohibited status for failing on their drug tests, suggesting that many have been leaving the profession rather than enroll in the return to duty. Since this was opened in January of 2020, there have been 244 positive drug and alcohol tests recorded. The majority of the positive marijuana tests. See, this is where, okay, I want to be very, very clear. I am not a fan of impaired driving. I was hit by a drunk driver when I was younger. I was almost killed by that drunk driver when I was younger. But I almost wonder how this is, when it comes to marijuana, right? Because like marijuana is legal in a bunch of states, right? And so is medicinal marijuana. And it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of shakes out in that, right? Is it just going to be like, because I think there's been some other articles put out there about this too, where it's like with alcohol, again, maybe some of my CDL holders out there can confirm this, but I thought it was like 0.04 was your legal limit that you guys could have in your system before you were technically impaired. Again, don't quote me on that, but I want to say the last time I had checked, that's what it was. And you almost have to wonder if marijuana eventually becomes legal at a federal level, are they going to put that same substance category inside of this for marijuana usage as well? I don't know. I think that there's a lot of stuff that could be that could kind of come out about this here on how they're going to administer this and how they're going to actually roll this out if it's legal, right? Are they going to set that threshold? And then how do you test impairment with marijuana? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, or what's an acceptable amount in your system. Let me see. And then on top of that, how many people are just going to drive no matter what, right? How many people out there, I don't know anybody that drive with no license anyways, because they just don't give a shit. I think that there's always going to be a sector of that in there. Let me see here. The FMCSA said it has no research of its own yet to explain why the large majority of drivers test positive for at least one of the 14 substances tested appear to be moving to what they view as greener pastures, even for less money. I don't know, probably because there's some jobs out there that you can smoke weed on and not get fired. Again, I'm not advocating for impaired driving by any stretch of the imagination, but FMCSA, I will save you a lot of our tax dollars to create some fucking bullshit committee that you're going to invest in this end. It's probably because they don't get drug tested at other jobs and they can smoke weed and still make money. That would just be my assumption. But again, you guys take it for what it's worth. I went to public school. And then it goes on to say that the ATRI, obviously, with marijuana legal in many states, truck drivers cannot use marijuana at all. There's a zero tolerance policy. Smoking a joint can cause the driver to fail their drug test. The ATRI concluded that data confirms that most drivers have not, okay, they've gone outside of this. The FMCSA. All right. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, right? Because there's a lot of drivers who are in the clearinghouse right now. And a lot of it seems to be because of weed. And I think that you're going to see this, and it hasn't been implemented at the federal level, probably due to the fact that it's not federally legal yet. I would assume at some point in time it's going to be, because let's be honest, it's a cash cow for a lot of states, right? If you look at all the states that have legalized marijuana, it's a massive revenue stream for those states. And government loves to create new tax revenues for themselves. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's only a matter of time before it is legal at the federal level. And then that is when my assumption is it will be implemented into the FMCSA's clearinghouse, that there will be an acceptable use amount in there, whatever that looks like. I don't know. But that article, you guys, I think, again, it's always good, right? It's always good for brokers and, well, obviously carriers and brokers to read up on this stuff. And anytime when it comes to the drug clearinghouse and everything else. And it's a good article to read. ttnews.com, FMCSA warning, drivers who drug test positive will lose CDLs. Scott Peters, excuse me. Good morning to you. Stephen Tuttle said I had an owner operator yesterday I was with BSing with at our dock, asked him his favorite place in the US, all states where weed is legal was oh, that had to have been very settling for you there. Devon McKinney, good morning. Thank you for tuning in, Devon. Let's see here, you guys. Next article we are going to break down is freightwaves.com is the worst over for falling used truck prices. Prices began to firm after a 4.4% average monthly depreciation in the first 10 months of 2023. Used truck pricing fell 4% in a month in the first 10 months of this year, but the rapid rate of depreciation might be coming to an end. The past 3 months, less than expected declines presented mounting evidence of pricing stability, said Steve Tam, an ACT Research vice president. We expect lower prices through the end of 2023 and with a return to month-over-month growth toward the end of 2024. JD Power Valuation Services found month-over-month auction prices for the typical Class 8 sleeper truck fell in 4 of 5 model years. Trucks from 2000 model year bucked the trend. 4 to 6-year-old trucks sold for 4.6% less in September, and they priced out at 37.5% below capacity-constrained values in October of 2022. Power reported in its November guidelines newsletter, in the first 10 months of 2023, late model sleepers sold for 41% below historically inflated gavel prices in 2022. See, I'm glad they're at least stating that the truck market was obviously very inflated during that time, which is really good to see that somebody's actually putting a fact out there. Again, I look at, I will never subscribe to anybody out there who says that you shouldn't start a business in any market, because I believe that the best time to start a business is right now. And like, I'm all about it, right? If you want to buy a truck and you want to go for your American dream, go. This is a good sign though for you. If you're looking in and you're able to plan this out where you can get this pricing. And I know that there, and again, if you're out there looking, like, there's some lease to own models or you're like companies that are out there that offer some stuff like that. So there's, if you're looking to get into the industry, if you're looking to stop being a company driver and get out on your own, there are options. And then this is going to be a way to, to get into it with the pricing that's down. But again, obviously with prices being down, that comes with interest rates being high, right? As you know. So take that into consideration as you're going through this, because even though the sticker price might be lower with the interest rates and everything, it's still, again, plan for this stuff. Create that business plan, line item everything out, get pre-approved for financing too. You guys go about that and do that. Talk to multiple lenders and see what is the best price that you can get out there, you guys. I'm learning this all as I go and I bootstrap my companies. Talk to multiple lenders about everything. Like I purchased a truck, pickup truck for my business, right? And then going through it from a business perspective, because obviously I have existing revenues and I have, a P&L and all that fun stuff that I can provide to it. But having it be the first loan that I took out for my company, I had to list Chris Jolly as the personal guarantor for the loan for Freight Coach Enterprises, which is the business of mine that does all the media stuff that I got that truck approved in, right? So it's like I still had to do that, but it took a lot of my having my financials in place and everything. And it's a different loan. When you go for commercial financing as opposed to personal financing, it's just a little bit of a different process, right? So these are things to take into consideration as you're going out there. Hell, you might have a semi truck right now and you're looking to buy a company pickup truck and everything. And I've heard from some of my friends who have done it that they had said it was harder to get a brand new Silverado than it was to get a brand new Kenworth. Like literally heard that verbatim. They asked more questions and everything. So again, it's just a different process. You guys take that into consideration. And then also, if you're going down this route like I did, and you just purchased a commercial vehicle for your business, that also comes with a new insurance category and everything. So it's a commercial auto policy. And what I did is I wrapped up my commercial auto policy into my business insurance, because obviously I have my building that I rent from. I have renter's insurance in there. And then I have my cameras, mics, all of my equipment is all insured and everything. And I have that wrapped up under one policy as well. So look into that, you guys. There is solutions out there for you. And then it goes on to, of course, it's got to toss this little bit in there. There's too many trucks chasing too little freight. It says used truck prices soared as lingering effects of the supply chain slowed the production of new trucks. Fleets have held onto their equipment longer. And then it goes on to say that there are still too many trucks chasing too little freight, said ACT Research. And then until the economy can strike a balance between those two factors, downward pressure on pricing will continue. Once the excess capacity is absorbed, the freight rate environment and trucker profits will correct, restarting that cycle. So I disagree with this statement on the standpoint of like the market correcting doesn't make you run a profitable business. Okay. It's just like all those individuals that want to sit out here and say like, oh, I'm going to start selling next year. If you have a shitty ran business right now, it doesn't matter what your financing terms are, what your loan amounts are. If you can't fucking manage that, it doesn't matter what the market is. All right. So like you have to have an actual business plan in place, and you have to know your marks, right? I know what my overhead is every single month, right? I know what my overhead is. I know what my revenue is. I know what my EBITDA is. I know what all of that shit is because I run an actual fucking company. And you can have a very profitable trucking company right now. I want to talk to them because there like you always see certain news organizations talking about, oh, this company went out of business. This company went out of business. I want to talk to the trucking companies that have grown in this year, that have become more profitable in this year, because that is what is going on out here. It's not all fucking doom and gloom, bloodbath, everything else under the over sensationalism to get you to click on their articles and shit like that. There are people out there that are surviving, that are growing, that are making smart business decisions. Okay. And you need to focus on that in a time like this. That's why I'm not saying that what they said is wrong, but it's just off base, right? It's off base because when there is no time when things are going to get better and you're all of a sudden going to know how to run your business properly. All right. If you don't know how to run your business in an up market, you sure as shit won't know how to run it in a down market. And then that cycle continues. You guys, I don't know. Sorry, that one just gets me a little bit fired up because I don't want people to read this and think like, oh, I shouldn't start my business now. Fucking start it. All right. Start it right now, no matter what. Who gives a fuck what some of these people say? Because none of these people who write these, who make these statements from their companies, you guys, at the end of the day, they don't care if you're in business or not. They're just stating their facts from their perspective, which again, I'm not saying any of this information from their perspective is wrong to a point, but don't let somebody else's opinion deter you from starting a business because it's always going to be challenging. All right. It's always going to be hard, but you can figure it out. You can make money in any freight market. You can get a quality truck or a quality brokerage or storage facility, whatever you want to do inside of the logistics industry. You can get it and you can run profitable in every market. Okay. So don't take what some of these fucking sideline reporters are going to sit here and try and tell you what you should or shouldn't do inside of your organization. Because frankly, their opinion doesn't mean jack shit. It's what you decide to do inside of your company. Okay. Anyways, Micah, I got to interview you guys because you and your husband run RGNs. So I'm going to DM you, Micah. I want to interview you guys and talk to you guys. Third and final article. Fleetowner.com. New industry event focuses on what makes a fleet the best to work for. Obviously, we only have a couple minutes left in the stream here today, you guys, so I'm not going to be able to read all of it. But it goes on to talk about, let me see here. It's like, it seems like there's an event of like what you can go to that they're going to have people from all fleet sizes coming and talking about it because it's a conference. Okay. I got clickbaited, you guys. I didn't know that this was an article about a conference, but if you want to go to this conference, it looks like, hold on. Best fleets. Okay. So, okay. This is about a conference in April. All right. Wow. I completely misread this one. And, but it looks like at this conference though, again, I look at it like this. A lot of these conferences are great to attend because there is information that's out there. And then maybe if one of these individuals from the best fleets to drive for watch this show, which you guys do, let me know. I'll have you guys come on here and we can talk about this because I want to bring a lot of this information out to my friends who are driving and don't have the time, or my individual or my listeners out there who can't shut their business down to go to a conference. So I'd like to have them all come on the show and we can talk about some of this stuff to continue to put best practices out there to keep people profitable in any freight market. Because that's what it's about for me, you guys. It's just to continue to put all of this information out there so we can keep you guys all into space, right? Again, I don't have all the answers. I don't have it all figured out. As I grow, when I hit 100 million and 500 million and a billion and 5 billion, I'm going to continue to do this content, you guys. I'm going to continue to put this stuff out there because I just want to help people. All right. At the end of the day, I want to help people inside of the transportation industry because this is the greatest fucking industry in the United States of America. But that is going to be it for today, you guys. Tomorrow, Q&A show, live show, hit them up. I got to get back to moving freight. We got some more freight moving. Today, we got some more freight that we got to get booked up. And as always, you guys, the reason I'm able to book up that freight, green screens, top of the corner, you guys. I use them to win every single shipment. Every single bid that I complete is done with the help of my friends over at Green Screens, you guys. So literally, I can attribute a lot of my growth in my business to their pricing platform that's out there, you guys. But that's going to be it. We will see you all tomorrow. 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. As always, if you guys got value, subscribe to the show, you guys. Rank it, get it out there. That's how we reach more people. Most importantly, that's how we help more people is because of each and every one of you and the fact that if you see value, your network will see value as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and we'll be talking to you soon.